Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Light rays from the glowing Gemini star far in the distance penetrated the clouds to shine upon Earth. This gave a beautiful orange hue to the layer of clouds. The land beneath was occupied by many green-skinned life forms of the Yang Ya race. The Yang Ya race was composed of blood and flesh life forms. They had the lower bodies of wild, four-hoofed beasts, but their upper bodies resembled humans, other than the fact that they had 4 arms instead of 2. They were born to be lovers of peace, but the moment they got angry, they would become crazed warriors. Peace, tranquility, happiness. These were the main tones of life on the planet occupied by the Yang Ya race. In a little, elegant, wooden building, a Yang Ya lady kneeled on her 4-hoofed legs, looking around in a leisurely manner. A streak of light suddenly fell from the sky above and landed right before her. A burly figure took form. His entire body seemed to be made of metal, and he wore purple armor. With his icy eyes, he looked at the Yang Ya lady who was kneeling and said, "Yang Ya Master." The Yang Ya lady revealed a hint of a smile and replied, "Balanced string of the automaton race. My friend, what brings you here? Such a rare sight. The fate of your Yang Ya race is implicated, too. This involves the rise and fall of your Yang Ya race. You and I have pulled each other through life and death experiences in Universe Ocean before. How could I not notify you the moment I hear of this?" Balanced String Master made himself at home. The fate of my race. The Yang Ya lady looked at Balanced String Master. My automaton race, the Bug Clan, and the demons have jointly formed a united force of the 3 races, Balanced String Master said. We were involved in crossfire with the human camp. You must have heard about it. The Yang Ya lady smiled and said, "Of course, I have heard about it." The news spread extensively throughout the entire primal universe. For any universe master to not know anything about it would be a rare sight. Crossfire between the united force of the 3 races and the human camp, and ultimately, the 3 races were defeated. This was such shocking news that many other races were in disbelief when they caught wind of it. "Come, try some of this green fruit wine that is brewed by my people." With a wave, a wine glass appeared and floated before the 2 of them. The wine glass had both height and depth. The wine it contained was faintly green and emanated a flurry of aromas. A dark grey, exquisitely sculptured flagon appeared on the ground beside them. Balanced String Master got hold of the wine glass and, in a solemn tone, said, "The humans have the inheritance of an ancient civilization. They just obtained it, but they are already so powerful. If we allow them more time, they will develop into a race that is more terrifying than the Divine Eye clan of the first reincarnation era. That's for sure. If they can already defeat the united force of the 3 races, what will happen in the future? I'm afraid that even if the major groups of powers within the primal universe combine forces, they will still not be a match for the humans. Once the humans become that strong, how could they not try to expand? As you know, the human race is quite invasive." The Yang Ya lady gave small nods. True. In fact, all 6 pinnacle races, the Bug Clan, the Demons, the Automaton race, the Human race, the Prison Clan, and the Crystal Clan were extremely invasive and aggressive. The laws of reproduction for these races were related to their strength and the amount of territory they could possess. The stronger a race, the more territory it could occupy. In the primal universe, who occupies the greatest territory? Balanced String Master continued. Not any of us, the various pinnacle races, but you, the billions of scattered races. Individually, you are all weak, and your lands are small, but when everything is totaled up, you all own a vast chunk of territory. If the humans truly become powerful and invincible, do you think they will let you all off? This war is not only a battle for the inheritance of an ancient civilization, it is also a battle of survival for you and us, the countless other races. The Yang Ya lady stared at Balanced String Master. The humans have their original universe. No matter what, there is no way we can exterminate them all. Yes, we are unable to exterminate them, Balanced String Master said. A race with Universe Supreme Masters is blessed with a fate freed from extermination, But, even if we cannot exterminate them all, we can still suppress them. We can hold their universe masters captive as though they are our reward. Or, even if we are unable to capture them, we can at least take over their territories and force them to retreat into that original universe of theirs. Hiding in a small universe and being suppressed by the major groups of powers in the primal universe. The other major powers in the universe ocean will be coveting the same thing. They will also be threatening the humans to hand over the inheritance. In this way, the human race will not be able to advance a single step. They will not dare to let the weaker ones out into the field to hone their skills via life and death situations because they are no longer training or honing their skills through life and death experiences. If the weaker ones are sent into the field, they are going to die without a doubt. The moment humans appear in the primal universe, or within universe ocean, they will be besieged and captured. They will then be treated as the bargaining chips of the various top powers during their negotiations with the humans. If that is the case, then no one human can truly rise up and beyond. It will only be the same select few of them, Luo Feng, Primal Chaos City Leader, and a few others, who can wander around and escape for survival whenever they need to. But just the few of them. Even if there are a few more Supreme Masters added, what good does it do for the various top powers? If they are trapped in one place without being able to breed more people and talents, then the human race will be destined to wield limited power. They will no longer be a threat to us. Balance String Master looked at Yang Ya Master. This is why some of us, races who own territory, must fight the humans in this war or make them hand over the inheritance or even suppress them so they cannot execute their power. As for the Supreme Masters who travel alone, in the future, even if the humans get more powerful, there is nothing for them to fear. But this might mean that in the future, they may have no chance to threaten the humans into handing over the inheritance, which is why, if they want to transcend reincarnation, they need to grab hold of this opportunity. In short, Balance String Master said solemnly, be it Supreme Masters who travel alone or the various races like us who have territories, everyone will be laying siege on the humans. Our automaton race, the Bug Clan, the Demons, the Prison Clan, the Crystal Clan, and the Northern Territory Alliance, even the various scattered groups of powers, have all started to join alliances. I believe, if you probe around, you will learn more. If you do not join anyone, you will be ostracized. This time around, if you join a camp, then surely, it will form a highly beneficial interest. You should know. You should know what to do. Yang Ya Master frowned and said, actually, the human race has already sent an envoy to speak with me. An envoy from the human race? Balance String King was shocked. So fast. They said, so long as we do not get involved, they promise never to invade our lands, Yang Ya Master said. Actually, she had refrained from saying something. If the Yang Ya race joined the human camp, the humans would share information on the experiences of the ancient civilization about how universe masters could cultivate to become universe supreme masters. And you believe them? Balance String Master snorted. This time around, the war has swept across the whole primal universe. You are my friend, so I shall tell you outright. If you do not take any side at all, when this war is over, your race will come to a most tragic end. And unquestionably, the United Force Camp consisting of major groups of powers is bound for victory. Balance String Master held the wine glass in his hand. To join the victorious party or the losing one, the decision lies with you, Yang Ya Master. Then he tilted his head backward and downed the glass of green fruit wine. Gurgle. Gurgle. This green fruit wine is indeed worthy to be the famous brew of the Yang Ya race. Balance String Master lowered his eyes to look at the wine glass. But if the wrong choice is made this time around, I'm afraid, in the future, there won't be such delectable wine for anyone anymore. Balance String Master immediately transformed into a streak of light and disappeared in the clouds high in the sky. Yang Ya Master was a very influential universe master within the Three Mountains Alliance, which was a secondary group of power. That was why Balance String Master was specially sent over to Yang Ya race to persuade her. If he succeeded in persuading Yang Ya Master, then the possibility of influencing the entire Three Mountains Alliance was much higher. For this war, the possibility of the various races of the United Force winning is indeed very high, Yang Ya Master whispered with a sigh. But the number joining the united force is getting too many. Even if great beings from the numerous races within Three Mountains Alliance, as well as myself, join the united force, we would just be like icing on the cake. There is not much purpose for us there. Just how much benefit do we stand to gain? I'm afraid we will be totally neglected. Even if they manage to get some little part of that inheritance from the humans, after much difficulty, with those pinnacle races and supreme masters in the picture, would the united force give all that inheritance to them, the inconspicuous groups? If we were to join the human camp, we would get some guidance. That is for sure. It's just that the human camp seems destined to fail and be eventually sent to the original universe. Then the races who stood with the humans will find themselves in trouble. By that time, we must combine forces, that is, the many scattered races within the human camp must form an alliance to deal with the attacks. This situation would be equally terrible. The universe masters were no fools. All of them were aware of the advantages and disadvantages of joining either of the two camps. The United Forces camp was almost a surefire win, but there were no benefits to reap, and they had to risk their lives for them. After all, there were already quite a few universe masters being annihilated. The human camp represented almost certain death, but there were also the benefits of gaining the guidance of an ancient civilization. The problem was, after the war, there would be troublesome repercussions. How should they choose? When the United Forces camp was persuading the various scattered races, supreme masters who traveled alone, the ancestral god school, and the Space Beast Alliance within the primal universe, the human camp was doing likewise, brainstorming ways to rope in other groups of races and forces. However, the humans' approach sought to conciliate and placate rather than persuade. Both parties would neither help nor harm one another. The human camp also promised never to invade any other territory that did not belong to them. This condition, as reasoned by the United Forces camp, was meant to exercise some restraint over the humans just in case the expansion of the human race, and them gaining more power, caused them to infringe on the territories and domains of other races. The two camps were thinking of all sorts of ways and methods. However, the decision of the countless great beings of these scattered races would implicate the fate of their entire race. How could they not think it through carefully? This was why, regardless of choosing the human camp or the United Forces camp, there was not much to gain initially. Obviously, those scattered races had already started to interact and discuss among themselves just how should they address the question of joining the two great camps. There was even a new viewpoint being voiced: they would not join either of the two camps. In short, everything was in a mess. Be it underhanded or aboveboard, the two camps were deploying all sorts of methods, for instance, buying over a universe master with a multitude of benefits and thereafter making use of that universe master to lead its group to one's own camp. In short, no one had the intention to scrimp on the various methods they could come up with. They were desperately roping in powers to their side. If one side gained 10 universe masters, it would mean the opponent would have 10 less. To and from. Every exchange would be equivalent to the combat power of 20 universe masters put together. In such a situation, how could they not give it their all? Amidst the endless, deserted starfield, no life form could possibly proliferate. Yet this starfield was where Sitting Mountain Guest laid his territorial rights. Teacher. Right away, Luo Feng went over to Sitting Mountain Guest to pay him a formal visit. "Here at my humble abode, personally," said Sitting Mountain Guest. "The human camp must be in a crazy hustle and bustle now. Such an important figure like yourself. What brings you here in person? Seems like you have a favor to ask of me." Sitting Mountain Guest was holding a crystal stone as he made his way down step by step along the stairs. "You never come to visit unless you need something from me." Luo Feng broke into a sweat out of guilt and was quick to apologize. "I am guilty as charged. In the future, I will make an effort to visit you more, teacher." Sitting Mountain Guest sat down in a relaxed manner. "Let me guess. Your purpose in coming here must be to ask me to make another true treasure with willpower that can exert an impact. And my guess is that you have personally killed a universe master and have video documentation as proof, right?" Luo Feng merely nodded obediently. "Teacher is indeed impressive. In the future, whether you annihilate a universe master or not, There is no need for you to document it. You just need to inform me. That will do. I trust that you will not lie to me. Sitting Mountain Guest gave a casual nod. Refining one more is simple. Give me 3 days, and yes, that old beast god from the Space Beast Alliance has asked me for a favor in getting in touch with you. Since you are here, I shall let him know. He will be here shortly. You can meet up with him and discuss matters. Whether the negotiations go through or not, do not worry about me. In this so-called battle of camps and such, I have no intentions of getting involved at all. Old beast god. Luo Feng was shocked. Sitting Mountain Guest had left and started making another ancient god eye. Old beast god. Luo Feng sat in a quiet palace with his legs crossed, thinking. I can't believe he came to find me first before we went to ask him. There were 3 types of powers the humans needed. The first type was the universe masters from lots of idol races. Individually, they were all weak, yet combining them all made them the most important power. The second type consisted of powers like the Ancestral God School and the Space Beast Alliance, who weren't demanding on territories. The last type were those lone universe supreme masters. Humans were willing to pay a price to draw idol universe masters to their side. After all, it was not going to affect humans' future plans. However, for universe supreme masters, the Ancestral God School, and the Space Beast Alliance, it would be tricky. The humans knew exactly what they wanted: incarnation transcendence. For one thing, the humans couldn't guarantee they would be able to transcend incarnation, as the advanced information was covered by the original mind. For another, those lone Universe Supreme Masters would ask for experience in becoming Limit Universe Supreme Masters even if they couldn't get the methods to transcend incarnations. And this experience would be the key to training pinnacle powers in the human race, which was Teacher Origins level. If some beings from the other races and lone Universe Supreme Masters became as powerful as Teacher Origin, the humans wouldn't have an advantage over pinnacle powers, then the humans wouldn't become the first power in Universe Ocean. The humans were waiting to see how many universe masters they could draw to their side. And they were also waiting to see how many of their enemies they could draw and who would stay neutral. If the humans were able to resist the Alliance, they wouldn't need the Space Beast Alliance. After all, the humans needed to consider the future. That day, the old beast god arrived around 3 hours after Luo Feng arrived. Luo Feng. His voice echoed in the palace. Luo Feng flew out. He looked at the giant being in space. It had a giant dragon's head bearing 9 horns. The horns were in the shape of crowns, and his long body wielded enormous claws mounted on 9 toes. It's the real body, Luo Feng thought. Apparently, Space Beast Ancestor is sincere. Space Beast Ancestor, said Luo Feng. Space Beast Ancestor extended his body, and he was still looking at Luo Feng. This would be the second time we have met since Beast God Sector. Indeed. Luo Feng smiled. I've been grateful for your help. Ha ha ha. Space Beast Ancestor guffawed. His voice echoed throughout each inch of the space. No need to be grateful. Actually, the Space Beast Alliance had owed Sitting Mountain Guest before, which was why he had allowed Luo Feng to enter Beast God Sector. We're no strangers, so I'll be straightforward, said Space Beast Ancestor. You know the situation quite well. The humans and the Alliance are enemies now. The Alliance keeps drawing powers to its side, and I know many powers have agreed to join them. Some powers have joined us as well, Luo Feng said with a smile. Yes, said Space Beast Ancestor. However, all the powers know what a threat the humans are. Those idol races know, too. Don't mention your promise, as it doesn't mean anything. Everyone will break a promise in certain situations. Surviving is cruel, and when humans become more powerful, promises will be broken. Luo Feng sighed. That means you won't be able to draw as many powers to your side as the United Forces Alliance, said Space Beast Ancestor. Which is why you should cooperate with my alliance, the Ancestral God School, and those lone Universe Supreme Masters. Oh. Luo Feng listened carefully. I've spoken with the 3 ancestral gods before. Space Beast Alliance watched Luo Feng. The Space Beast Alliance and the Ancestral God School will be on the same side. Luo Feng was shocked. The two powers had just formed a side of their own. They would certainly have more bargaining power when negotiating with humans or the Alliance. Our requirements are simple, said Space Beast Ancestor. Firstly, we want the experience to become a Universe Supreme Master from a Universe Master. Secondly, we want the guidance to transcend incarnation. Luofeng, if you and the humans agree, my Alliance and the Ancestral God School will join the human team immediately. Luofeng's heart skipped a beat. It was exactly what he had expected. Actually, different powers had different requirements based on their roles. Those weak powers didn't even dare to think about transcending incarnations. The only thing they wanted was a Universe Supreme Master so their race wouldn't go extinct and could live for at least 3 universe eras. Ancestor. Luofeng stared at Space Beast Ancestor. Don't you know about the original mind? The original mind, said Space Beast Alliance. Of course, I do. Then you should understand that the information about incarnation transcendence and more advanced experience are hidden by the original mind. Luofeng looked at Space Beast Ancestor. Even we don't know how to transcend incarnations. Space Beast Ancestor said, I've talked with the 3 ancestral gods, so of course, I know about that. You just need to provide us with as much as you can. For example, the experience to become a Limit Universe Supreme Master, and, after that, I'll make efforts myself. Do you agree? Space Beast Ancestor stared at Luofeng. If you do, then the Space Beast Alliance and the Ancestral God School will join the human team immediately. We won't be the only powers who join, as these conditions are appealing to other Lone Universe Supreme Masters as well. It all depends on whether you're willing to give out the information or not. You gain only after you pay. It's up to you. Space Beast Ancestor gazed at Luofeng. Luofeng went silent. Did he have a choice? Actually, the Lone Universe Supreme Masters, the Space Beast Alliance, and the Ancestral God School couldn't have cared less about humans' power, as they didn't care about territories at all. As for another power thriving in Universe Ocean and a power stronger than the Holy Land, they didn't care about that either. All they cared about was the inheritance and the experience to reach the limit. And as for how to get it, they didn't care about that, either. Whatever would work. Space Beast Ancestor gazed at Luofeng. After a while, Luofeng said, Ancestor, what's your decision? Space Beast Alliance was a bit anxious as well, as this had to do with his fate, the fate of his race. Luofeng responded, I've pondered your offer for a long time, but I can't make this decision myself. I need to talk about it with the other Universe Masters in my race, especially my teacher Primal Chaos City Leader. If they agree, I'll tell you myself, immediately. If they don't, I'll tell Teacher Sitting Mountain Guest to tell you. Okay. Space Beast Ancestor growled. Then I'll be waiting for your response. Space Beast Ancestor disappeared. Luofeng stood there for a long time. Although Luofeng's original body was at Sitting Mountain Guest's, he went to contact Primal Chaos City Leader through the virtual universe. Luofeng, I thought you asked Sitting Mountain Guest to make a true treasure. Why are you here? Primal Chaos City Leader realized that Luofeng might have something important to tell him. They both sat down. The old beast god met with me and offered me a deal, said Luofeng. The old beast god? Primal Chaos City Leader was surprised. What sort of deal? The deal I expected. Luofeng continued. Firstly, the experience from ancient civilization about becoming Universe Supreme Masters from Universe Masters. Secondly, the experience of how to reach a Limit Universe Supreme Master. Primal Chaos City Leader frowned. A Limit Universe Supreme Masters? That was power at the level of Teacher Origin. He also said the Space Beast Alliance and the Ancestral God School have formed an alliance, said Luofeng. Ancestral God School? Primal Chaos City Leader frowned. Ancestral God School shouldn't be so hasty. Their requirements shouldn't be as high as that of the Space Beast Alliance. What? Luofeng was confused. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. You've been adventuring in Universe Ocean since you arose, yet you still don't know some common knowledge. The 3 ancestral gods are only Universe Masters, not Universe Supreme Masters. What? Luofeng was shocked. The three ancestral gods were universe masters. This is a secret shared among the seniors. Primal Chaos City leader shook his head. For one thing, the three ancestral gods came into being when the Ancestral God School was formed. Do you really think it's so easy for Universe Supreme Masters to be born? And there are 3 of them, and they're all in the Ancestral God School? For another thing, the 3 ancestral gods have never entered Universe Ocean. Also, issues in Universe Ocean are all solved by Universe Masters like 9 Remoteness Master. Luo Feng frowned. But when ancestral gods make their orders, they'll be strictly enforced, and they can wield the power at top-tier level 6 by using only pinnacle true treasures. Haha, Primal Chaos City leader smiled. Do you know what is meant by making orders, once given, strictly enforced? It's a privilege given to Universe Supreme Masters by Universe Origin. However, when fighting Universe Masters, this privilege will be stripped away. If the original mind wants to favor those ancestral gods, they can give them the privilege. Luo Feng blinked in surprise. The privilege is bestowed by the original mind. As for reaching top-tier level 6 by using only pinnacle set true treasures, they have Universe Supreme Master level techniques, said Primal Chaos City leader. You comprehended it by yourself. Peng Gong used the engravings on the supreme true treasures. As for the 3 ancestral gods, they use the techniques bestowed by the original universe directly, like inherited techniques. Inherited techniques? Luo Feng understood. Just like his technique I Am the Universe, the techniques bestowed by the 3 ancestral gods were more advanced. They were at the Universe Supreme Master level. Do you understand now? Primal Chaos City leader exclaimed. The Ancestral God School was created by the original universe, and it has chosen 3 great beings to be its representative. The original universe gave them privileges and inherited techniques. However, they have to bear more responsibilities, and there are lots of restrictions on them. Luo Feng nodded. It was true. If they were indeed Universe Supreme Masters, they would go deal with the issues in Universe Ocean themselves. If they were indeed Universe Supreme Masters, Virtual Real Devil God wouldn't have said that the ancestral gods weren't his match in Universe Ocean. The real reason was that ancestral gods were decoy Universe Supreme Masters. They are restricted, and they can only be free after this universe era. Primal Chaos City leader smiled. To them, the most important thing is to become Universe Supreme Masters. However, Space Beast ancestors have a point. Those ancestral gods, 8 beast gods, and those guarding beast gods and guarding godly masters all want to become Universe Supreme Masters and transcend incarnations at the same time. However, no alliance is eternal. Space Beast Alliance and Ancestral God School won't stand side by side forever. I'll talk to the Ancestral God School, and I'll convince them that the best thing we can offer is experience on how to become Universe Supreme Masters. Luo Feng nodded. Then what about the Space Beast Alliance and those lone Universe Supreme Masters? Just wait, said Primal Chaos City leader. Those idle powers are still hesitant. We'll try our best to draw as many of the Universe Masters to our side as possible. 100 Universe Masters are as powerful as 10 Universe Supreme Masters. We should concern ourselves with the idle races. If we can draw enough of them to our side, we don't need to worry about those lone Universe Supreme Masters anymore. From undying fighters to Universe Supreme Masters, the systematic way from the ancient civilization cultivated pillars of power like lots of Universe Masters and Universe Supreme Masters. As for pinnacle powers, they were those like Teacher Origin. Nobody in Universe Ocean is as powerful as Teacher Origin, said Primal Chaos City leader. If 1 or 2 humans become as powerful as Teacher Origin in the future and we have enough pillar powers, we'll become invincible. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. Everyone wished that their races would become stronger. Nobody wanted to share the secret to pinnacle powers with other powers. If their powers became stronger, like lone Universe Supreme Masters, they would roam Universe Ocean without caring about humans. They might be in conflict with humans, and if they were fighting, even if the humans were relatively stronger, they wouldn't win, as the lone Universe Supreme Masters didn't have anything to care about. They were as powerful as Teacher Origin as well. Wait until everything becomes clearer. Primal Chaos City leader sounded excited. After 3 days, Luo Feng took another ancient god eye from sitting mountain guest and went back to the human territory. He tried to persuade some lesser powers to join them. As you see, none of the universe masters who joined us died, Luo Feng said, trying to convince a gigantic rock being. Perhaps we don't have a great chance to win, and I won't brag about our power, but they don't have that much of a chance to win either. However, I can guarantee that you'll be safe. We have Boat of Mausoleum, Black Prison Tower, and Star Tower. If you join us, your safety will be absolutely guaranteed. You're afraid that you'll be attacked? Don't worry about that. We have many universe masters on our side, and if any race dares to take vengeance on you, we'll annihilate that race with Star Tower and Boat of Mausoleum. You'll definitely win if you join the alliance. As you can see, there are 6 powers already in our alliance, and the unity is strong. These 6 powers alone have already had around 300 universe masters, and some idle races have joined as well, so we'll have many more universe masters. Besides, we have more universe supreme masters and supreme true treasures as well. What? Mind shock valuables? That's a joke. I have to admit that such a valuable is indeed impressive, but look at how many universe masters we have. The 6 powers alone have 300 universe masters already. If we divide them into teams of 50, there'll be 6 teams. No matter how powerful those valuables are, it can only attack one team. After all, the mind shock valuable depends on distance, and the farther we are from the valuable, the weaker its power will be. You know the black striped stone pillar and how it works. All we need to do is to be farther away from those humans, about 10 million kilometers away from them. Which means that mind shock valuable won't affect us much during the war. Besides, if we divide the universe masters into small teams, the effect will be smaller. To summarize, our team is definitely winning. Besides, the feud between us and the humans will last a long time. If they don't give us the inheritance, we'll suppress them forever so that they'll never prosper, and those who seek the humans will regret it. Both sides were trying to recruit more members. The humans were relatively weak, yet the United Forces Alliance was stronger. After all, the Northern Territory Alliance alone had around 100 universe masters already. Days passed. All the powers in the original universe were observing the situation, and the powers in Universe Ocean were doing the same thing as well. Damn it. We can only stay in Universe Ocean. Damn it. If we can enter the original universe, we can force the humans to give us the experience on incarnation transcendence. Why can't we join? The powers in Universe Ocean were all anxious, but they felt helpless as well. Both the first universe era and the second universe era were much more powerful than the original universe era. Several pinnacle races from these 2 universe eras were powerful enough to crush all the powers in the original universe. However, they couldn't enter the original universe. Luo Feng took out a token. Milky Way Horde Leader. The memory stone you gave me last time is indeed useless. If you give me one more, and that memory stone is indeed useful, I'll give you 8 supreme true treasures for the 3rd memory stone. What do you think? Unless you're trying to deceive me, you should give me the 2nd memory stone. Eastern Emperor Ancestor, if you want to get the 2nd memory stone, give me 4 supreme true treasures. In the current conversation, Luo Feng was still being tough. Apparently, Eastern Emperor Holy Land knew what was happening in the original universe. After the trade last time, the ancestor assumed Luo Feng wasn't deliberately trying to deceive him because Luo Feng couldn't read the more advanced information, which was why he still wanted the 2nd one. However, the ancestors didn't want to give up any more supreme true treasures. He understood that the humans were in a difficult situation, so he went to Luo Feng directly. I still insist. If you're not giving me supreme true treasures, then there's no deal. It was not that Luo Feng didn't want to do it. Instead, he understood that the 1st memory stone he had given to Eastern Emperor Ancestor was already the best option. Even though he couldn't read the information, he knew how precious those memory stones were and what type of experiences the stones contained. If the 1st one was useless, then the following 2 would only be worse. That was why Luo Feng couldn't give him the memory stones. And besides, Luo Feng was the only one who had the memory stones, so he had a monopoly over them. Eastern Emperor ancestor couldn't do anything about it. With time going by, the war was drawing near as well. The whole original universe was under terrific pressure. And the powers in Universe Ocean were also concerned about the situation, as they wanted to join the fight. Unfortunately, they couldn't. Suddenly, Luo Feng heard the voice of Primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng, come. Luo Feng sensed that something was wrong. He teleported to the main palace where Primal Chaos City leader was, and all the Universe Masters showed up one by one. This video will end here.